Welcome to the 50th episode of Our Anxiety Connection. I cannot believe I am even saying those words. We have come such a long way. I remember sitting here in front of this microphone, recording that very first episode, wondering what I had gotten myself into. And now here I am in front of the very same microphone, feeling so lucky to have been able to connect with each and every one of you because of this podcast. I cannot tell you how lucky I feel that you not only listen and you show up, but so many of you have responded with stories of your own. And those stories and our connection have helped me to feel less alone with my own anxiety. Anxiety can be such a lonely, lost feeling. I am beyond grateful to be able to travel this road with wonderful folks like you. And I am so glad you are here. This episode is going to be released on February 14th. And that gives me a chance to share something that's very close to my heart. And that's how I feel about the truth of Valentine's Day. To be honest, I have never been a big fan. Let me say that more strongly. I really, really don't like the way we celebrate Valentine's Day. We celebrate with those cards, expensive dinners, flowers, expectation, pressure, worry, sadness, anxiety, and loneliness all seem to be a part of February 14th. But that's just the way we celebrate. I think the real reason we acknowledge Valentine's Day is really different. So if you're like me, not a big fan of Valentine's Day, or if you're dreading Valentine's Day, I hope you'll stick around because in this episode, we're going to talk about changing the way we think and feel about Valentine's Day forever. Valentine's Day is a celebration of love. But that simple truth gets buried under an avalanche of roses, expensive jewelry, and, those little tiny red hearts or the pastel hearts. And because we get so focused on what to give or what to get or whether we're in the right relationship for us, or maybe we're not in any relationship at all, we're so lost in all that, we lose sight of the powerful, important role that love plays in all our lives. And I'm not talking about the strolling on the beach, hand in hand, romantic kind of love. I'm talking about love of family, love of friends, love of our human family. And I'm going to throw in, just for my dog, our love of our dogs, our cats, and all those other pets. Those are important relationships. And those relationships matter deeply, and they deserve to be remembered and honored and celebrated, not only on February 14th, but throughout the year. Take a minute and just think of all the people who've mattered in your life. I'm talking about parents or people who are like parents in your life. I'm talking about children or children who've been a part of your life. I'm talking about grandparents and aunts and uncles and the great aunt who meant so much to you. I'm talking about all of them. And that's the kind of love I'm talking about. That's the kind of love that's worth celebrating. Why do we need to limit ourselves to thinking about just one person when we have a life filled with people who have loved us, who love us, and who have made a difference to us? I'm talking about the people who showed up for us in bad times and in good times, the people who offered us a second chance, who stood up for us when no one else did, the people who made us laugh, who cried with us, and who walked with us through the dark times. I bet you know exactly who I'm talking about. I know I do. Maybe these are people you've known for a lifetime. Maybe you just met them, but knowing them makes you better. And that's what matters. And wouldn't it be great to celebrate those connections and that kind of enduring love this Valentine's Day? Make a list of those people and maybe let some of them know how important they've been in your life. You can send them an email saying how much what they did mattered to you. Call them, share a memory, laugh, make a date to meet with friends for lunch, and maybe make some new memories, or just text them and say, I'm thinking about you today. These days, we are always in such a hurry to get everything done, and I know I'm guilty of that. I think we can miss the really important things, like saying, I love you to people that matter. So why not use Valentine's Day as a reminder to slow down and savor and celebrate the love in your life that really matters? And this brings me to what I believe is the most important love any of us will experience on the planet. And that's the love we have and hold for ourselves. I know this is uncomfortable for some people, but please hear me. I am not talking about being mean or selfish or small. I'm talking about acknowledging and caring for yourself first. When they fly, they always say, take that mask and put it on yourself first. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of anyone else. And that's the truth of life. Your needs matter. You are important and you matter. Now, I happen to believe the best way to love and take care of yourself on Valentine's Day is to celebrate or not celebrate in a way that feels right to you. Please know, as far as I know, there are no rules on how to do love on Valentine's Day. So let's agree we can't do this right and we can't do it wrong. No wrong. Just celebrate in the way, or not celebrating in the way, that brings peace and comfort to you. I have some suggestions for making your Valentine's Day this year a kind that feels right for you. First of all, if you're in an ongoing relationship, please don't be afraid to ask for what you want. I cannot tell you how many times over the years people have told me about the truly, I want to say awful, but let's just say unwelcome gifts they've been given. Vacuum cleaners, gym memberships, diet books, bow ties, cutlery, all well-meaning, but they just kind of missed the mark. And after we have the conversation about the unwanted gifts, we immediately usually go right into the big fight that followed. People cannot read your mind. You have to tell them what it is you want. And no matter how much they love you, they can't guess. You have to show up and share what it is you need or want. Maybe this year you're in a new relationship, or you're in a relationship that isn't working the way you'd hoped. Again, another chance to speak up for yourself. Tell them the truth about who you are and what you need and how you want to celebrate. Talk things over with your partner. Tell them what it is you need, because here's the truth. No relationship will work in silence. Not possible. Now, this year, if you're not in a relationship at all, you get to plan your day any way you want. You can ignore it and go on with your life as usual, or you can do it up big. You can buy yourself the gift, that thing you really want. You can host a big party, or you can take yourself out for a fancy dinner. You can eat chocolate. You can have a glass of wine. You can buy yourself flowers or order an extra large pizza. Do what's in your heart. You get to make yourself happy. Because here's the thing. Life is not watching other people live their make-believe perfect lives on Instagram. Life is not a spectator sport. It's not about waiting for that person, that thing to come your way. Life was not meant to be watched. Life is about feeling and touching and smelling and tasting and experiencing the world around us and searching and finding the things that bring us joy, and about making time to find our joy in spite of the crazy schedules we live. It is up to us to stop and smell the roses, especially on Valentine's Day. Okay. Now, to get serious for a moment, maybe this year you've suffered a loss or you're just going through a tough time. If that's you, if I am talking to you, first of all, please know from my heart, I am so sorry. I know how tough Valentine's Day can be for people going through dark times. And if you're a regular listener, you know I have had my share of tough times. But remember, it's just one day. It's Valentine's Day, not Valentine's week or month. And you get to decide how you want to handle the day. Couple of options. Call a friend for support, make plans to do something, or if that's just too hard or not right for you, talk to a professional who might offer some guidance on dealing with your grief or your loneliness. Please remember, you don't have to do this alone. It's so hard alone. It is so much easier when you hold hands or make this journey with others. Always ask for help. And as I say over and over and over, asking for help is never a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. Maybe, on the other hand, this year, what you really want to do is be alone. That's okay, too. If wrapping yourself in a big quilt, watching The Mandalorian for the 8th time while you eat your cheese curls feels right to you, do it. Remember, no right answers, no wrong answers, just your answers. All you have to do is remember to love yourself, honor yourself, respect yourself, and speak up for yourself. And one last thing to remember about getting through dark times is to know and believe absolutely the sun will shine again. Might be tough, but just keep reminding yourself. Finally, whatever your situation is, one of the best ways to really care for yourself is to do something for someone else. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but when you turn your attention outward to reach out to someone else, research shows that the feel-good hormones that are released in your brain, your blood pressure goes down, you feel less stress, you actually experience something they call the helper's high. And not only that, when you give, you're reminded that you've been given so much that you have extra that you can share. And you have something really important to offer the world. And let me say this again. I'll say this 1,000 times. You matter. How you give, up to you. Pay for someone's lunch, volunteer, share your talents with a local organization. Just call someone who's going through a tough time. These are gifts. And even the very smallest gift can make such a difference to someone else. Finally, let's agree this year we're going to ignore the media's slick images of couples dancing on a moonlit beach or clicking champagnes over lobster. This year, we're going to tell the truth about who we are, and we are going to celebrate the one thing that is really important to us: love.